Hi, this is Michael, and this is my review of the Purelux Wise pull-down kitchen faucet in brushed nickel. This is the faucet that I'm fixing to replace, and this is the faucet that is going to replace it. And let me pull this out of here so I can show you what this whole assembly looks like before I crawl underneath the sink here and detach the old faucet. So here is the faucet as you take it out of the box, and you'll notice that the supply lines are the braided variety, and they're already attached, so I really hopefully these will be long enough to go to my water supply underneath the sink. And then this is the pull down type hose, and I don't know what else I can tell you here. It's really pretty easy installation. This is the base plate if you have a 3-hole sink. I do not. I have a 1-hole sink, so installation on this should be pretty straightforward. So let's get to it, and I'll show you the final product. These are the additional pieces for installation that are included. You have a rubber washer, you have a metal washer, and then you have the little installation kit, and this is how you tighten everything together once you get the faucet put through your counter. And you are limited to 1.5 inches in thickness. And this is the counterweight that you simply clamp this around the nozzle hose, so when you pull out the nozzle to extend it, it has enough weight to pull it back into the faucet assembly. Alright, I'm under my sink and looking up, so back there is what I have to remove. And before I do anything, I have to turn off my water supply, so make sure you do that, of course, before you do anything. And that just simply means I have to turn off the cold and hot water supply knobs. And then I'm going to detach the feed lines, and there's 2 of those, obviously. And then we'll throw the new faucet in, reconnect everything, and hopefully it'll all work out. Oh, and one thing you're going to want to make sure you do is get a couple of rags handy, and also something for the water that is remaining in your water line. It's going to start dripping out as you unscrew this from your water supply. If you don't put something underneath to catch the water, you're going to have water all over the bottom of your cabinet. Alright, a couple more details that you may find helpful. At some point in your deinstallation of your old faucet, you're going to have to, if you have a existing pull-down faucet, this is the line that goes to the pull-down faucet, and you have to detach it from the faucet itself. And the way you do that is you sort of push up this little tab. And then as you're pushing it up, then you pull this out. But don't try to stick a screwdriver under here and pull it out. It doesn't work that way. You'll break it. And that means you'll have to replace that whole assembly there. And then the other thing is, once you get your faucet out, you want to make sure that you clean this area where the faucet's going to be going down. And also, the instructions say to get plumber's putty, but they don't ever tell you what that's for. Well, that's for putting a bead of plumber's putty around here, so that when you place the faucet down on it, it'll create a nice waterproof seal here so that water won't seep in and get underneath your cabinet. And once you get your faucet installed, then you just want to wipe that plumber's putty around from the outside edge. So get your thing of plumber's putty, grab a little wad out of it, and then just roll it in your hands and get a thin bead like this, and then just wrap that bead around the base of your faucet. And then as you push the faucet and screw it into place from down below, it's going to squeeze all that putty out, and you just remove that. Alright, I have everything sticking down underneath the countertop now. Here are my water feed lines, and they are labeled cold and hot. And then this is the pull-down faucet line that you have to attach. Before you tighten everything down, though, you need to install the rubber washer first, followed by the metal washer, and that goes on that threaded portion up there. And then as the last step, you thread this on, and this is how you tighten the faucet securely to your countertop. So you can see I have them how it's supposed to be: rubber washer, metal washer, and then the tightener. And I'm going to push it all up and screw it to the thread up there, and we should be just about done. All that remains is to attach the water lines back to the water feeds. Just a couple miscellaneous tips. Always make sure you use this Teflon tape, plumber's tape, on the threads of your hot and cold water supply when you're reattaching the hoses from the new faucet. That'll just give you, ensure that you don't get any drips or leaks. And don't over tighten those nuts either. Hand tighten them and then just give them half a turn at most with a wrench. So here is our totally installed and functional faucet. I installed it so that the handle goes off to the side. The reason I didn't install it with the handle coming straight out is because on this faucet, the cold water supply, which is blue, is to the left. So it just, I don't know, it didn't make sense to me to have to spin the dial to the left for cold water, because usually the left to me means hot water and the right is cold water. But in any case, that's me. But I installed it this way, so hot is to the back and cold is to the front. And I like this, gives me a nice amount of adjustment. So I like that. And also this blade feature is really cool. So when you push this button, it gives you a very sharp, wide nozzle of spray. Of course, it creates like a Niagara Falls effect in here, and there's mist going all over the place. So I probably won't use that a lot, but it would be really good for cleaning a plate of debris pretty quickly. And this is the spray. It's a fairly tight spray. It doesn't really want to go all the way in super well, but I guess well enough. It does have a little notch in it though, so the buttons are supposed to be to the back. It seems to click into place when it's all the way in there, but if you just let it go by itself, it sort of goes like that. Overall, I think it's a pretty decent faucet. We like it. It's certainly got a nice look to it, and time will tell whether the internals hold up. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, leave a comment. I'll answer it if I can. Have a great day.